The transformative power of Socratic dialectics. Did you know that Socrates, one of the greatest philosophers in history, never wrote a single word? Instead, he preferred to walk the streets of Athens, instigating deep reflections through dialogue. The technique he used, known as Socratic dialectic, is an investigative method based on conversation, where the goal is not to win debates, but to seek the truth through the exchange of ideas. Let's imagine. Close your eyes and focus on my voice. Imagine being in ancient Greece. Now imagine a man who, instead of sitting down to write, preferred to walk the streets of Athens, challenging the ideas of the sophists and leading people to reflect on their own beliefs. This revolutionary approach not only shaped Western thought, but also teaches us the importance of dialogue in the search for truth. You know that moment when someone asks simple questions but leaves you without an answer? That was the essence of Socratic irony. Socrates used irony not to mock, but to dismantle certainties. Pretending to be ignorant, he asked inquisitive questions, such as, "What is justice?" leading his interlocutors to question their own beliefs and discover contradictions in their arguments. At this stage, it is often said that most sophists fled from debates, but for those who stayed, the path of transformation of ideas began to be traced. After identifying the contradictions, and the interlocutor offering to continue the debate, to continue the investigation, a second stage then began, the meiotics, or the birth of ideas. Socrates compared himself to a midwife, like his mother, helping his interlocutors give birth. Unlike a teacher in the formal sense, Socrates intended to help in the construction of deeper and more refined understandings, but this refinement is sought by the interlocutor himself. Exactly like a birth, where the midwife is there only to help at the moment of bringing the new life into the world, Socrates only intended to show paths to a new idea. This phase was essential to deconstruct fragile concepts and rebuild them in a solid way, promoting self-knowledge and critical thinking. The importance of Socratic dialectics remains current. In times where dialogue is often replaced by shallow and polarized debates, Socratic practice teaches us to listen, reflect, and collaborate to reach the truth. Imagine the impact of applying this technique in discussions about ethics, justice, or even science in the contemporary world. Or, beyond that, imagine deeply investigating news or concepts to avoid fake news. Socrates' propositions give us the basis and tools to be able to carry out such investigations. But he will not be the only one. Modern philosophical thought and rationalism can also help with this. Do you want a video on this topic? Leave a comment. Steve Jobs, a reference in innovation, once said that he would trade all his technology for an afternoon of conversation with Socrates. This statement shows us how deep dialogue and Socratic principles can be revolutionary, not only in philosophy but also in creativity and problem solving. By questioning deeply and seeking the essence of ideas, Socrates demonstrated that the path to knowledge begins with curiosity. His method challenges us to abandon superficial answers and explore the core of our beliefs. This approach resonates in modern times, where innovation thrives on critical thinking and reimagining possibilities. The ability to ask why and what if lies at the heart of both philosophical inquiry and groundbreaking inventions. Just as Socrates shaped minds through dialogue, today's greatest ideas often emerge from collaborative and reflective conversations. Perhaps this is why the timeless wisdom of Socrates continues to inspire thinkers, creators, and visionaries alike. Let's review. Grab a pen and paper and write down these concepts. Taking notes helps you organize your thoughts and reinforce what you've learned. Whenever you have questions or need to revisit a point, feel free to pause or replay the video. Learning is a process, and revisiting ideas is a great way to deepen your understanding. Remember, the goal isn't just to memorize but to truly engage with the concepts and apply them in your thinking. First point, Socratic dialectics is an investigative method based on deep dialogue, divided into two main stages. It's not just about debating or exchanging ideas superficially, but about engaging in meaningful conversations that challenge assumptions and uncover deeper truths. The two stages work together as a process to question, reflect, and ultimately refine one's understanding. Let's break it down again to make sure the key points are clear. First stage, irony, which is the phase in which certainties are challenged through questions that reveal contradictions. It's all about creating space for reflection by questioning ideas that may seem obvious at first. Socrates used this technique to gently dismantle preconceived notions, encouraging his interlocutors to think more deeply. The goal here is not to embarrass or discredit, but to highlight the gaps or inconsistencies in one's reasoning. By doing so, we begin to question what we thought we knew, paving the way for a more solid and refined understanding. Second stage, Socratic midwifery, which is the phase where, after exposing contradictions, the interlocutor is guided to form new and deeper understandings, almost like giving birth to ideas. Pretty fascinating, isn't it? The focus here is on encouraging reflection and growth, helping the person discover insights they didn't realize they already had within themselves. If you were also inspired by this philosophical journey, it's time to apply Socratic dialectics in your daily life. Question, listen, and allow yourself to change your perspective. Subscribe to the channel, share this video with friends who love philosophy, and leave your thoughts in the comments. What was the last idea you gave birth? Let's continue this dialogue. Be sure to follow the channel's news, and always remember, a mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original state. Stay in peace, and until the next step of our journey.